Check, check. All right, what's up? What's up? Good morning and welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. El Pastor is ready to take on this beautiful day. So, as you're tuning in on YouTube, remember to be careful with day trading, as it is risky. It is risky business. Do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Remember, copy trading does not work here on this channel. It's best to utilize a simulator and practice with small share size before using a large sum of cash. Remember, my results are not typical. I do not invest in my subscribers. Be careful of fake accounts on all platforms. And lastly, be careful of fake advertisements as well on YouTube platforms as well as Meta platforms. People are stealing the Relentless trading content and Team House content and are trying to run ads with them. So be very careful. And if you do spot what? Why? Hold up. I'm having some audio issues. Hold up. I think I started OBS and my mic wasn't connected. So, okay. Looks like we should be good. Yeah. Two stocks. My top two stocks, TIBC and SRXH. Now there are some others, so I'll take a quick look here. PMNT. Honestly, since I haven't been using Schwab, I haven't been looking at penny stocks, which I think might be a mistake here, honestly. Right? PMNT looks pretty decent. Started in after hours and has uptrended here. Lows of 56 cents, highs of 75. Currently hanging out around 70. So this looks pretty healthy. There's good volume, high volume, and it's not really showing any signs of weakness yet. So as I'm writing up the watch list, I'll add this one here. So PMNT, TIBC, SRXH, PGEN, is it worth looking at? PGEN, PG. Maybe there could be a red to green. PPSI as well. You know, I'll throw both of these in there. Why not? PPSI, PGEN. That's 5 stocks though. The good thing with the Thinkorswim platform is that it saves the stocks in the recents. That way, you don't have to do too much clicking through. Okay, and I think that's it. Yeah, okay, let me post this list. Can you guys hear me? Should the volume should be good? The audio? I'll double check. Okay, yeah, it looks good. Looks good on my side. Bro, today we got to put forward our best trading. Um, I've had a lot of issues with stocks being up and the price action being so strange. There's a lot of things that I look for, right? In terms of the strategy, when it comes down to the timing of the candlesticks, where we are with time, where we are with the formation of the candlesticks relative to the open, the close of the candlesticks, right? All this stuff matters. And it's been pretty strange. You know, like an example I'll give is like we'd see we'd see the very first pullback that comes with a red candle. It just happens to come when there's a new 5 minute candle and then there's weakness into the candlestick, which makes it very, very difficult to determine the low. Because in theory, we could potentially go all the way back down to the low of day, which has happened a bunch of times. So, you know, can we see more, let's say, normal price action where stocks are pulling back early and giving actual solid entries early rather than just going, and then the dip is like a massive dip or something, you know? So hopefully we can see some clean, linear price action. TIVC up 50% is going to be my main stock, and then I'll rotate through the others. The others. Nothing obvious on the daily chart. Well, there's a range here. Going back to March of this year. 570s, 580s resistance. Above that, room to 770. The 200 EMA all the way up at 1160s. So break of 6 could be pretty good. And if we do, and if it's strong, perhaps room to 770. All right, TIBC. The other penny stocks, you know, I think it just comes down to maybe rotating to whichever one holds up. PPSI. We'll see what happens with that one. So there's PMNT and then SRXH for the cheaper stocks. So there's 3 minutes to the opening bell. And yesterday was really small green. We barely managed to get something. Today, the aim is to get off to a bit of a quicker start if we can see something holding up. And so I'll be watching for a lot of pullback trades. The breakout entries, I don't mind. I don't mind the breakout entries, but it really comes down to the situation. You know, can we see something around the half whole dollar? There have been some situations where I've gotten chopped out, so I got to be careful about that. Maybe getting back in a little bit quicker also could help. But above all else, I want to be careful with size and to size up appropriately and accordingly, and not just because something interesting happened and I just like go to madman size. That's what really contributes to my red days. If I go back throughout like the years, that's exactly what contributes to my bigger red days, is that something good does happen and I try to go at massive size like for the follow-up trade. But you know, it's sometimes a little bit more important to read the temperature of the day and size up accordingly to that. You know, like if it's been a slow day and something good came, do I just want to go berserk in that exact moment, or do I still want to pace myself, right? So I think for me, pacing myself is the key. I mean, other people might be different, right? But I want to take it slow, and I want to be very disciplined towards the strategy. So can we see uptrending stocks holding up, giving big breakouts in short time frames, and me dominating the move as a result? So TIVC, 1 minute to go. H1 Media, are you in the building? KB, are you in the building? I know Jordy's in the building. Oh, man. For those of you in the chat room, I see you. I hope you guys are feeling good. Traders like Limitless, SF, Hollis, Quest. Hope you guys are feeling good. Trevor. We got 30 seconds to the open. Actually, there it is. So we got lows around 90s here for TIVC. Lows of 90s, quick push up there. We had about 40. $58 now for highs. I don't think I got filled. By the way, I do have to, I don't know why, but um my webcam doesn't want to stay smaller. There we go. A bit of a double top. My order got rejected down there at like 514, 513. I think I was maybe a little too slow. Just the spreads might open up a little too much. Oh, it's coming down. Well, that bounce is going to happen once. Once might have been enough. But it is halting down. Checking out the other ones. Oh, false halt. Nothing over 5 really. The others, how are you doing on the others? PPSI is pushing up 440 to 519. Bro, of course that dip only comes once, and when it came, I didn't get the fill, which is just tragic. But I mean, 14 versus like 95, but still 14 back to 60. Not bad. Now we got PPSI moving up. PPSI. Does it have what it takes for 40, 50? So it held like a 10-cent range there, 30 to 20. It's coming down. It is coming down. Rejection of the pre-market highs. Lows right there. I saw 16 or so. It's saying 96. I don't think we went that low. We're not quite holding above 30, so the pullback is definitely a little bit bigger. The candlestick has about a minute on the 5. Well, okay. Nothing really holding up as of yet. TIVC, PGEN, SRXH. That one did curl up a little bit. And then PMNT. Perhaps a day for the penny stocks. Will we see a red to green? I mean, the way how these stocks are moving is possible. It looks like it's a penny stock kind of a day. SRXH around the $0.50. Can you hold up? There's 53. 54. Bro. It's a penny stock day. It's what it is. A day for the pennies. I really shouldn't be trading these at all on this platform, but 50. '50's holding up so far. Oh, come on. No bueno. And it goes the second time. We got 57 fries, 58, 59. Ah, mother lover. Bro, don't you dare. Oh, not good. Well, I'm only green $100 on that. That's kind of a waste of a time there, honestly. Um, and let's see the other ones. The setup looks pretty good. PPSI, of course, is just, one of those stocks. One of those stocks. The VWAP is at 47. We'll see how low it dips. Oh, and there's nothing above 1. Nothing. Nada. TIVC at the lows. PPSI kind of choppy. It's a penny day, a penny day. Hmm. I'm on the sidelines. This is a nice stock. It's a nice move, but right now I'm between a rock and a hard place. There's too many fees on this platform, and I know for a fact if I switch over to Thinkorswim, I'll probably get banned. So I'll stay on the sidelines. Like it's not worth. I mean, it could be worth it, but I mean, you got to nail the entries here with good position precision and also hold way longer. Which I'm not really willing to let the 1 or 2 cents go. And really and truly, I should be using like triple the size I'm using, which has been 14,000. It's a penny day, a penny day. Can it go up to 70 cents? It looks like it's possible. We might see the 5-minute pullback here. Besides the previous, I mean, there's the pre-market high, there's the previous high. VWAP is a little down there. Price action, I think, probably the best way to determine this one. BSLK, is it continuation? Not really. Maybe some short covering. That massive move a few days ago. If there's a higher low here, it could be pretty good. That was pretty good. Can we see 80? I think so. Over time. That was good volume, a nice move. Higher low off the pullback there. It's a penny day. I know I would have definitely sold already though, but there looks like there's room to 80. Let me double check too. Is this an IPO or name change? My daily chart isn't populating. Doesn't look like there's any major resistance though. Yeah. $75. It looks like another healthy pullback here. Penny day, penny day. Nothing but pennies. There's a good size seller at 70. I don't know. This pullback looks pretty healthy, I'd say. I'd say it looks pretty good. But this is very, I'd have to be careful too, because I just keep buying and then, you got to make sure there isn't like another flush before the bounce actually comes. Now, a stock like PPSI I wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. That one looks pretty depsy. Being on the sidelines is not for me, man. Like sidelines is tough. Being on the sidelines. It still looks pretty healthy. Even if it makes a new low, I think it still looks good. But of course, if it does, by how much is always important. Eight tenths of a penny, full penny, penny and some more. The candle has a minute left on a 5. Time. Will it get over 69? I'd start to get a little bit skeptical here for sure if it doesn't. But yet, again, if support is support, there's always, waiting. 66. And what is it going to be? It's fighting, still fighting. There's like a low consolidation here. So as I just mentioned, my fees on Guardian are pretty high for stocks below 1. I don't want to use my Schwab platform. 69. Is this confirmation? Maybe. Maybe. So again, I think I would have been a little skeptical in there, but you know, the lows are the lows, support is support. And just a matter of just holding it to see what it was gonna do. 66, whatever that low was. And it kind of like double bottomed there. But still not out of the woods yet. But over 69 definitely is a good sign. Still not out of the woods. And if it does break down, will it be gradual? That way, like the tight stop is guaranteed. If it comes down to 66 and like teleports down, then that's where slippage can come. PPSI sinking like the Titanic. I don't see anything else moving besides this one. There's 67.2, 67.1. This is do or die. Can we fight for our lives here and support? Can we fight for our lives? There's good volume there. And this is such a nice one too. It's nice, smooth, it's linear. There's 72 and a nice sweet breakout. Oh man, oh man. I definitely would have sold right here. Maybe it keeps going though. 84 is the halt up. Will it keep going? Pastor has paper hands. I would have been out at 74, 75. But that's a good trade though. 60, 67, 68 to like 74. You can't really ask for a better trade than that. And it went to 77, 78. Is a trade like that worth the fees for sure, without a doubt? There's a massive seller that came in, which is why it's struggling. See that position is like just sell in like 10,000 blocks and just, you know, stock will keep going. But somebody wants to sell massive size all at once. Too much selling pressure. Or even I guess like hidden orders could have, because the position wasn't that big, right? Quarter million. Like with a hidden order, that could have gotten filled pretty easily. Bro, how could guys like Ross not trade sub $1, man? Oh, is this the fees? The fees. Yes, like 2 days ago, I was saying that I should just send it and just go back to my Schwab platform for stocks like this. But I don't know, man. They will for sure be watching me. Am I paranoid because so many people has gotten banned? Maybe. Definitely a day to be up like 2,500. Definitely a day to be up like 2,500, I think. $2,500 to the wind. To the absolute wind. The turbines. BSLK, it's still going up a little bit. But, after that massive move, the way how it looks, that doesn't look like a leading strong stock that we would normally trade. So I'll just leave it alone. And if this one sells off like it is, maybe something else comes. We'll see. Oh my god. There's an order block. Yeah, I kind of have to fix my other platforms too. Because Sage and Guardian is so similar, I honestly haven't really been looking at, like, I haven't been using it. They're pretty similar. I don't know if this one is finished. I mean, I'd consider this like a bit of a backside, but it might not be finished. But it'll probably take like 30, 40 minutes to tell, depending. Sometimes you'll get some of these stocks they'll sell off a little more, and then there's like a surprise red to green, and they're back up. Other times the move is done, right? But only time will really tell for sure if it's done or not. But typically for me, once this type of massive sell off happens here, it's like I just call that a backside and say, okay, time to walk away. Mm. I'm checking the chat. Big Steve. Big Steve saying he sold before the move, brother. SF. Cactus. Yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah, without it. I mean, in the chat room is not wrong, right? Pastor has been maybe a little too chicken, brother. Well, I guess it's more than that too. Like, I mean, honestly, what I kind of told myself is that there's no almost like like the NBA basketball league where like people will get traded and then the team wouldn't tell them. So when this whole thing started, I'm like kind of vouched to myself that I'll just not even use this platform. But maybe that's not a smart thing to do, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's $2,500. I mean, this is what I think I would have made, right, from what I saw there, because this move was actually linear, smooth. That maybe that's too much money to just leave on the table. It's too much. The SLK slowly grinding up. I don't see anything else besides these two. So just still on the sidelines. I probably would have made more than that too. I mean, it would have came down to size. But the key thing is though is like in those positions, like in this area, like 67, these trades are never a bad idea as long as it just doesn't teleport down. Because sometimes it'll fail. But if it's a gradual breakdown, you can always keep the tight stop. It's the days where we go from like 68 down to 64 instantly, and then there's even more slippage trying to get out big. And then you have like a 5 cent loss where you're looking to hold a couple cents, nothing more than like 2 cents below the lows, and even that is a pretty wide stop, and that's being realistic, right? Like trying to have the stop at the exact low is kind of impossible. Mm, going mad here. So there's a massive bear flag here. If this thing is to still be alive, this is where people are going to be watching to see if it does get back up to the highs of the flag. And if so, how's the volume? Will it instantly reject? Because if it gets back to 69, it's where there's like a red to green opportunity here. And it's actually coming up fairly quick. There's 65. But I'd need to see like 69. This setup, of course, if you're really watching the entire thing, there's opportunities here in the flag itself. But 69 is only as in like confirmation that it can go if it gets up there and starts to hold, like for a retest of high of day. It's not the first entry, not even close. It's back down rather quickly. So people are going to be watching, and it's the same thing over and over, right? This is a consolidation. Can we position ourselves to be in a good area and then back out for something? The fills do matter. I think it's just the biggest thing. It's like if you can get the fills that you want to get, then it becomes very easy to give the trade a chance. If you're getting like terrible fills, maybe like above the ask or on the ask itself every time or all the time, then you can have an issue. So if you're using your orders in a way where you can get better fills or just being quicker, because sometimes part of the problem is waiting too long to hit the buy button. So if you get the entry you're looking for, then you can be very comfortable to give it a chance. If not, maybe you're out before you want to be because the risk in a trade is higher, and a cent and a half in a stock like this can make a difference. Like being in at like 60 versus 61.5. So will it continue to hold? Will it make new lows reclaim? Will it break down? And there is nothing else to trade. Yeah, it's weird that they're not letting people trade it today when all the volume came in 3 days ago on the big move. So it broke down, it's reclaiming, and that was a tight breakdown. So this is how these stocks can eventually curl back up. But the issue that I'll have is that, especially in a hotter market, right? In a hotter market, there's another stock already moving up, maybe halting up. So I'm not staying to watch this. But what can happen is that in another 5 or 10 minutes, it could get back up to 69 and start again. And then if you're now coming back, it's like you've missed any opportunity to be in early. And you gotta kind of manage from this mid-range area. But some people, they might, stick to one stock even if something else is moving. Bro, PPSI was just complete trash to look at this nonsense. Stocks like this, man. But it starts off fairly good, the first 5 minutes. The first 4 minutes, a bit of a bottoming wick, red to green, and that was it. Just wicking up and down. There's nothing else moving. Oh, man. Yes, LK looks like a death trap. I lost 300 on PPSI flush. The first trade I took was a little bit of a high entry, which was fair. You know, the lows were at like 95 initially, and I bought back on the bounce at 5, like around like 514. I didn't get filled. That push went up to 560, so there's like a no trade in there. That would have at least balanced me out. So when it came back down to 5 again, I took the trade. That time it flushed out to 75. So I took the loss and did net red. Small things like that, right? You know, you get that fill, the move, you ride the move up to 40, 50, even if I sold a little early before the highs. It's a nice trade. TIVC. This one also didn't really hold up. So 400 in the red on those two. Small green SRXH, but again, you know, didn't really go for it. Son of a gun. And there's just nothing. Nothing else. Yeah, BSLK, people are saying not tradable. Time to shut it down, maybe? Maybe time to shut it down. Bro, days like today, man, I just want to just... I don't know if I'm more mad at myself or... uh, when the day trading become complicated. I think I'm making things more complicated than it needs to be. All right, I'm out of here. Maybe the mighty keeps going. I gotta make up my mind on what I want to do with this account and this platform. It's obviously still good to use the charts for me too, but I gotta think about it, and I gotta think about everything. I'll catch you guys in the next one.